Salute. Shout out, salute everybody in the building. Appreciate you guys once again. Welcome to another show of the NBA Script Revealed, the NBA Decoded. I want to shout out to everybody on the platform, everybody that's been subscribing to the YouTube, the Instagram, and everything like that. Appreciate you guys. Also, all the messages I continue to receive throughout the days. Really appreciate that. Positivity and progression. So shout out to everybody that's reaching out. Really appreciate that. We had another positive night. It should have been a super, terrific night, but it definitely was amazingly positive. So shout out to everybody that, received the content well and applied it and was able to become very beneficial following today's events, concerning the NBA. So shout out to everybody that was, that received the content and appreciated exactly what we were able to do, isolating specific things for today, and especially the two underdogs that were very nice. Whenever you could get multiple underdogs on one night, it's always amazing. So, definitely gotta appreciate that. Don't want to be too greedy, but you definitely gotta appreciate any night that you can get multiple underdogs. So we'll get the easy ones out the way. Quick review for tonight. I'm not gonna make a too long of a video, but so the first play of the day, pretty hands down. This one was all about the coach. So the Charlotte Hornets to defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves. This was a pretty even line. I believe Charlotte was favored by a couple of points. Yeah, 2 points. So Charlotte Hornets were about a minus 125, minus 130, whatever the case may be. But this game was all about the coach, James Borrega. We were able to figure out and isolate the fact that James Borrega, the coach of the Charlotte Hornets, his record was very telling coming into today's game. So if you guys could see, he came into today's game exactly on 123 losses, which applies to the opponent, but also the 103 losses today. So today was a 27 date numerology. 103 is the 27th prime. And for anybody that follows days of the week as well as the name of the planet that they're associated with, so Wednesday is named after Mercury. And as you can see, Mercury equals 103 in English ordinal. So 103, the 27th prime, today being 27 date numerology, and James Borrega could stay on 103 losses on Mercury Day, which is, Mercury Day, which is another name for Wednesday. But the 123 is really significant because they were playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. So James Borrega had a perfect opportunity to continue to stay on those 123 losses because Minnesota Timberwolves, the full name, equals 123 in reverse full reduction. So James Borrega, not only did he stay on 103 on the day named after Mercury, which equals 103, but he also stayed on 123 losses, which coincides with the opponent his team was playing, the Minnesota Timberwolves, equaling 123. So that one was all about the the coaching record, and it was pretty obvious once we caught wind of that statistic. Um, so like I said, that one was like a 120, 125 line. Nothing too crazy. Right within the range that we love to attack, and continue to be like not chasing these crazy money lines or whatever the case may be. You want a beneficial money line or something within a positive range. If not, 110 to like 160, 170, whatever the case may be. So that one was a pretty solid play. Like I said, it had to do with the coach, and once we pinpointed that one was pretty obvious. So the next one we had was a pretty big underdog. Shout out to everybody that jumped on this one. The Chicago Bulls on the road at the New Orleans Pelicans today. They were plus 195 this game. Chicago Bulls were plus 195 to get this win. And this one had more to do with the team. Let me just bring this up for you guys so you guys can see it. So the Chicago Bulls, they took care of business. The game looked a lot closer than it actually was. Chicago was really up big in this game. But the Chicago Bulls, with a win today, became 9-7 away, like 97, right? And then attaching to their opponent, the New Orleans Pelicans, equaling 97 in single reduction. Now, it's also important that they equal 205 because in numerology, 0 has no value. So 97 is also the 25th prime. So they have a double connection to 97 with equaling 97 and 25. So the Chicago Bulls today, with the victory, became 9-7 in their away record, right? Going against the 97 team in the New Orleans Pelicans. And also, New Orleans stayed on 15 losses. On 15 wins. On a 47 date numerology, 47 to 15 prime. Also, Pelicans equaling 47, right? And then they picked up their 20th loss of the year. And today is actually the 71st day of the NBA season. Ever since the NBA season started, 71 being the 20th prime. And the New Orleans Pelicans picked up their 20th loss of the season. But this one was pretty significant. So anybody who jumped on this game, like I said, this one was a plus 195 value. This one was a great game to attack, and we really didn't see too much on why the New Orleans Pelicans could perhaps get the victory. So it was pretty one-sided with the things that we pointed out specifically for Chicago, and they took care of business. So Chicago Bulls plus 195, another underdog for today. So shout out to everybody that was able to take advantage of that. I know you're pretty ecstatic and pretty happy about that. So shout out to you. And the last one of the day, the last game of the day that we the last underdog. I'm sorry. This was the other underdog of the night. Another nice underdog as well. The Philadelphia 76ers at home, plus 135, plus 145, depending on when you jumped on it. But the Philadelphia 76ers were about a 4.5 point underdog going against the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz were on the road. And so let's get into this game because this one was pretty interesting. So for anybody that was paying attention to this game, the Philadelphia 76ers went down about 13 points midway second quarter, somewhere in the second quarter, third quarter. I forgot exactly when it was. But so anybody who was able to take advantage of that was a plus 300 live attack. That was a plus 300 money line price that you guys could have taken advantage of. Philadelphia 76ers were down as much as 13 points to the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz hit something like 20-something three-pointers or something like that. They were really scoring a lot early on in this game. So anybody who paid attention to the decode and specifically, the content that we put out today for this specific game, the Philadelphia 76ers had a great price throughout this game. Plus as high as 350 some people reached out to me and told me that that's what they were seeing. So shout out to all my sharks and all the veterans that we have in the community that knew to attack this game specifically, especially when you see a price like that. It was pretty significant. So the things that we had in this game was so the Utah Jazz, right? Today was a 27 date numerology. 27. They stayed on 27 wins for the season. But the most telling stat was that this was the 103rd meeting between these two franchises. 103rd. So, like we said, today is Wednesday, named after Mercury, which equals 103. It's the 103rd meeting between these two teams. Today's 27 date numerology. 103 is the 27th prime, and the Utah Jazz stayed on 27 victories for the season. So that was all very significant, that the fact that we pointed all that out. The 103 was all over this. And, I'll just bring it up so you guys can see. Jazz versus 76ers. So you guys, you don't have to take my word for it, but you guys are able to see it. So, so they already logged this win. So this happened today, obviously March 3rd. But yeah, it was the 103rd regular season game between these two teams. 103 on Mercury, which equals 103. The 27 prime on the 27 date numerology, and they stayed on 27 wins for the season. Also, the Philadelphia 76ers, they picked up their 16th victory of the season at home to become 16-3, like 163, and that coincided with the coach Doc Rivers. I believe he picked up. Let me see exactly what win he picked up. 967th win. All about prime numbers, okay? 967 is the 163rd prime for Doc Rivers. 967, 163rd prime. And the Philadelphia 76ers with the win became 16-3 today. So, very, very nice underdog as well. This one was about plus 135, plus 145. But like we said, the better price was during the game, in which you could have caught them as high as plus 300, plus 350. So it was a great price throughout the game. So a lot of people took advantage of that. Shout out to everybody that was able to take advantage of that. It should have been a super, super duper perfect night. But obviously you still came out on top. Very symbolic. 3 NBA winners, 2 underdogs. One of them even as high as 2-1. Prior to the game, Chicago Bulls plus 195, plus 200, depending on where you looked at it. And also, the Philadelphia 76ers within that game were plus almost over 3-1, as high as 350, depending on who you do your business with. So shout out to everybody that was able to take advantage of that. A lot of people already messaged me about that and are pretty happy about that. So shout out to them. And yeah, man, just wanted to get on here and quickly bring out to you guys, these great examples on how these NBA games continue to be scripted, and it's even more and more telling. So with the 27 date numerology, the 103 all over the place, you can see how we pay attention to the coaching records and stuff like that, how they correlate with the team that they're specifically playing on that night, and also bringing the date numerology into effect as well. So once again, salute to everybody that was able to take advantage of that. Anytime you can have 3 winners on the board, especially 2 underdogs, very, very nice. So, shout out to the whole community in general. And, we'll continue to do what we've been doing, which is which is eating, man. So shout out to everybody all across the community. Salute to you guys. Y'all already know how we do on the way in and the way out. Love to play that intro. So shout out to you guys, man. Salute.